Sul, vi now Frediche, The Sims, and when last we left off, Samuel went to Magic Town to go and get ingredients for one particular spell, and while he bought one ingredient, he went on stage and performed to a crowd that, even though he wasn't very good at the trick, was still moderately impressed with his showmanship, and thus he earned 33 magic coins. We can use those magic coins to buy ingredients from the various vendors. There were two things I discovered, however. The first is that we can't buy garlic. We're going to have to grow garlic if we're going to want to use that as a reagent in a spell. The second thing I discovered is that unlike using the hole in the ground, at least this is my theory, when you call the taxi to go to Magic Town, everyone that's on the lot at the time goes with you. When Dave went down the hole, only Dave went. And yet, when Samuel decided that he was going to go to Magic Town by calling a taxi, everyone went with him. I do think Dog has gone with Dave in the past, but maybe that's my memory playing tricks on me. Perhaps only Dave goes when he goes down the hole. That would make the hole worth something, even though you have to buy it if you delete the hole that the game gives you. I'm going to be taking them to heart the next time I go to Magic Town. Only go when the other person isn't on the lot, which is actually going to be really difficult because Danielle is always going to be on the lot unless she's at Studio Town, whereupon we are not controlling this lot. Meanwhile, on the other side of the road, Dave is going to be collecting more magic coins at some point, and I wager that's going to happen when everyone else isn't on the lot. Let's go, shall we? We found another way that we could use to get them, and that is by charming snakes with the Snake Charmer. And at the moment, the only person that is on the lot is Dog, so we're going to be focusing on Dog's day-to-day activities. Let's go. Right now, Dog is asleep. This concludes focusing on Dog's day-to-day activities. The maid is taking care of cleaning everything up, starting with all of the cockroaches that are on the lot. Somebody said quite a while ago that the cheaper lots have a chance of spawning the cockroaches, and that the more expensive ones tend not to. To my experience, I think it's happened on all of the lots that I've controlled, but it may have happened far less on the other ones. And much like every other sim I've controlled, the maid has access to the cockroach spray away, just like everyone else, because she has a massive can of it in her pocket. And just like everyone else, she doesn't enjoy taking care of getting rid of them either. I'm not sure anyone does, but soon Dog will be awake and the adventures will commence. And we paid the maid. 2,000 simoleons on hand isn't so bad, however. And your grades are really impressive, A-. And somebody did say that you can use the, you can study for school by using a bookshelf. We don't need to do that because Jim's mood is good enough that the grades will just improve naturally. But if your mood isn't that great, you can maintain your grades by just studying. Dog will soon rouse from his slumber. And then, here we go, adventure will commence. Alright, Dog, all eyes are on you. What are you going to do today? The answer is, you're going to do nothing. And it looks like Fluffy may have an interaction that's going to happen, as Fluffy has gone exceptionally still. Nope, the first thing you're going to do, eat. And eating is very important, Dog. It is a very important thing to do. You need to keep your energy up so that you can run around and do dog things. Like be Dog. It takes a lot of energy being Dog. Yvette and Jim are soon going to be back from work and school respectively. We'll see how much your grades have improved when you get back. Just a few more minutes and Dog takes care of something that Dog always does over there. And let's have a look. Your grades are now A. Very impressive indeed. You don't need to do very much right now, so you're just going to turn on the television as soon as Dog has greeted you. You, meanwhile, actually, why don't you turn on the television right now? Might as well, eh? And they're having an interaction right next to Dog's bowl of food. That bowl was not eaten out of half as often when it was inside. But never mind. You can actually get rid of that command now, because that command is redundant. What isn't redundant are the bills that need to be paid. They always need to be paid. And this interaction didn't happen. That's okay. You'll start the interaction. Time to play fetch, while Yvette works on that fun need that she needs filling up. Is Dog going to go over to Jim? Are we going to play that game with the ball? I love that game with the ball. I'm really good at it too. There's a ball. I'm gonna go get it. Maybe. Where'd the ball go? You're gonna have to go get it. I completely lost sight of it. I'm a good player of this game. Follow the human. And then follow... Oh, it went over there. That's interesting. I'll remember that next time. Ah, the phone is going. Time to answer that. It could be a large pile of money. And note that when you go to answer the phone, you tend to stand up faster than if you weren't. And would you like to adopt a baby? That is something that can just happen. The game will just offer you the chance to adopt a baby. We could do this. It would be a sudden change of pace to their life, and we have only just got used to Jim being around. You know what? Yes. We now have a second baby. And everybody's going to applaud, and it's another boy. I'm going to need to name this baby now, and just like the first time that this family had a baby, I don't have a name in mind. What are we going to call this baby? We've already got Jim, so we can't use Jim again. We could just use Jim again. Hey, Jim! And then they both turn around and we're like, yes? And it's like, no, the other Jim. And then they both turn around and say, yes? That is a terrible idea. We are not calling the baby Jim. What shall we call this child? We shall call this child Roger. We have Jim and Roger. There we go! Now we have a second baby, which means that we're going to need to clear out some space in here. Let's do that right now, shall we? We'll put this over here. We're going to have to move this somewhere because the baby needs to go here. At least we'll be able to have a double bedroom here and put a second bed in. We don't need to build an additional room, which means that we'll save a fair bit of money. Although we need to have a fourth chair here. We're definitely going to need to change things up in this room once this baby has become a child. And we need to put this bookshelf somewhere. Where are we going to put this bookshelf? Maybe this bookshelf now has to go upstairs because there's literally no other place to put it. I mean, we could put it over here, and then we could put this mirror in the bathroom. That seems like an idea. Let's do that, shall we? Excellent. Hopefully they can still get into the bed with the bookshelf there. I hope so anyway. We could actually just put that there. That's not a bad place to put it because that's a really good place to put it actually. And so now we have Jim and Roger. And now life is going to continue as it was. With the surprise for Dave that there's just going to be a baby that's there. He did not know that this baby was going to be there. It's going to be a bit of a shock, that's for sure. A dog is like, another small human? Where do these small humans keep coming from? And here comes Claire. I've got some bad news for you. If you wake up the baby, Dog will be really annoyed with you. I honestly did not expect there to be another baby. Maybe that call doesn't even have a chance of happening if you don't have two adult Sims in the household. And Dave is home. He has brought home $375 and a lot of surprise because he was not expecting there to be another baby. He hasn't even noticed that the baby is here yet. And Dog is just running around. Time for you to go and collect those bills and pay them. But not before interacting with Dog in the middle of the road. Has Roger started crying yet? The answer is no. That will happen soon enough. It'll definitely happen soon enough. It is inevitable, as we know. Who's a good dog? You're a very good dog. Now we have another baby to take care of. But Dave still doesn't know. I can imagine him grabbing the bills and being, what a perfect day. I've finished work, I've interacted with Dog, and I'm exceptionally tired. But I'm sure that everything will be exactly as I expect it to be when I get home. What is Jim up to? We have no idea what Jim is going to do. So we'll just, There appears to be some crying. Time for you to take care of that, Yvette. Just, play with the baby here. Actually, no, feed the baby. And Dave comes in to have a sit down on the chair. And it gets dark just in time for a dog to run in and interrupt his movement into the building. What is that sound of a baby crying? That may be the baby crying. We have another baby? When did that happen? We adopted it. You adopted a baby? Yes, they rang us and asked if we wanted to adopt a baby, and I said yes. Oh! You could have texted me, you know. I could have, that's true. And then life continues. And you really should have been watching the television while you were doing that. But we'll have you watch the television now. Now that we know that you don't need to play with the baby to have them go back to sleep, this means that we can save a fair bit of time when we're taking care of the baby. We can cancel these actions, and that will still... Did you have a random snack while I was busy focusing on the baby? Yes, you did. You can cancel these actions, and I still think they count, but I like having the actions play out in full. And not surprisingly, Roger is still crying. You're just going to dump that on the floor, aren't you? You're going to clean that up right now, mister. You have made a mess of the floor, and only Dave is allowed to make a mess of the floor, because he has absolutely no neatness. You at least have 2 points of neatness. There is no excuse for you. Where is Dog? Dog right now is going to relieve himself in the place that he always... You're going to have another snack. Stop that, Jim. If you keep having snacks all the time, it's not going to be good for your body. That snack was free, but you're not going to keep grabbing them. You might as well eat it now, considering the fact that it was free. Please be quiet. I'm a lot better at this than last time, because I've already had a baby, and thus I have experience. There we go. Rest well, Roger. We will take great care of you. I think you need to go and get some sleep. And so now it is time for them to take alternate days off work to take care of the baby. And you're also going to clean that up before you go to bed. And you're going to go to bed after you've been to the toilet. There we go. Do that, and then get some sleep. You might as well actually turn off the television as well. There we go. Much better. At least this room does have space for a second bed. Always handy. We'll just turn things the right orientation. And then, to sleep they go. And you can't use the bed when that's there. We're going to have to move this, aren't we? There we go. It has now been moved. So you can have a light there, but you can't have a bookshelf there. Something to know for the future. We're going to need to make room for this somewhere, aren't we? Maybe it needs to go upstairs now. Or maybe we actually need to make this house a little bit bigger. Or we could put the baby somewhere else. There's actually no other place that the baby can go. So we're just going to have this outside for the moment. It's actually not the worst place to put it. We could put it right there. Let's just hope that it doesn't rain and then the wood gets all damp and horrible. It never does rain in The Sims. They're going to get some much needed rest. They'll need all the rest they can get, because it's going to get really loud in that room in a few hours. What with the second baby and all. And Jim cannot fill up that bowl. Something to remember. We're going to have to fill up that bowl the next time somebody wakes up, and that will probably be in a few hours when Roger starts crying. How long are we going to get? A couple of hours? Maybe 1 or 2? It's unlikely to be anywhere near that long. Whose energy is going to max out first? It looks like Yvette's energy is going to max out first, which means that you're getting up to go to work today. Everybody else is going to be, Jim is going to be going to school, but Dave, you're going to be taking care of Roger. And then the next day, it'll be Yvette's turn to take care of Roger. It's a good thing we've just paid those bills as well, so that we can roughly know how much money we're going to have when Roger becomes a child, so that we can buy another bed. Apart from buying a bed, we need to make sure there's enough room in here to have 4 people sat down at any time, which may involve getting rid of, say, that. And that is your cue to take care of Roger. You are not sleeping through this. No, you are not. time for you to feed Roger and see if that is sufficient to have Roger go back to sleep. It won't be, but it might be. You're going to prepare some breakfast. You're not going to have breakfast just yet, because you need to get some more sleep. Not too much sleep, though. Just need to try and make sure that your mood is as good as possible. And you're sleeping soundly, far away from the sound of the crying baby. This staircase does act effectively as a door, preventing Jim from hearing the baby, which is handy. Alright, time for you to take care of Roger. You're good at that after all. You have had just as much practice as Yvette has. And you're doing things in the wrong order, just like before. Because I queued up all the actions, and then that took priority, just like normal. We'll wait for you to eat, and then you'll deal with bladder and hygiene. You don't even need to deal with fun that much. That's always good. And Roger is drinking heartily from that bottle of milk. We'll never know where those bottles of milk come from. A dog? Dog is fast asleep. Won't be for much longer, though. You're going to be rising up to greet the day and running around and doing dog things. There was the temptation to have the turning an animal into a human spell cast on dog, but in the end, dog is best at being a dog, and so we shall leave dog as a dog. Besides, we need to work on his tricks at some point. Maybe enter him into a contest so that he can earn lots of money for his ability to do handstands or fly. I've heard of flying dogs, haven't you? Okay, I haven't heard of them outside of comic books, and Roger is still crying. This does not surprise me. Normally they need to be sung to, but feeding is very important. Alright, you've taken care of your food. You're going to dispose of that plate, then take care of dog's hunger, and Jim is awake. I didn't even notice that you're awake. You're going to grab some food, and then you're going to deal with your bladder and hygiene. Hopefully there is enough time for Yvette to take care of her own bladder and hygiene need before Jim needs to. If all else fails, Jim can just watch early morning cartoons for a while. And is Roger fast asleep now? Are you going around this way? You are, aren't you? Finally, he's asleep. Excellent work. Thank you. I'm going to go back to sleep now.
Yum.
Good idea. And yum indeed, Jim. That is some delicious food that Yvette cooked. She has 4 cooking, which is not that far off Dave's. So you probably can't really taste the difference. There will be a subtle difference, though. Do you really need to do that? You don't actually need to do that, because you're going to be dealing with hygiene in the shower. There we go. That is some slight efficiency. And you may even have a tiny bit of time to watch some television. Alright, you need to work on bolstering that energy up, and then it's going to be hunger, bladder, hygiene, and then maybe interacting with dog. While dog does what dog always does, and makes the puddle of urine there even bigger. At least it's never going to be as big as the swimming pool, eh? Remember the last time somebody went into the swimming pool? Yep, I don't remember either. You're going to brag to Yvette. What are you going to brag about? The fact that you ate all of your food? That's not that much of an achievement. And you're going to cancel that action there, and watch some television. And that was quite good, the fact that you could just walk right past Yvette when she was sitting down. That is an interaction to remember. And it won't take too long for your fun to rocket up, although energy is starting to dip a little bit already. Meanwhile, you're desperately trying to get some much-needed sleep. Don't turn the light on in there, and you really need to get some curtains. There are no curtains for these windows. As soon as it gets to 6 o'clock, the sun is going to be beaming into that room, and amazingly, you're still going to be sleeping. I think it's time for you to go to work, because we are now spending for 5 rather than 4. And when we come back, folks, Jim will be going to school soon enough, and Dave will continue to take care of Roger, the newest and youngest addition to the family. So I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Dag dag, look at dog go just then, chasing his own tail, having the greatest time of his life. And you might as well turn that off. Maybe even, yes, have an interaction with a dog. Fantastic idea. Dag dag.